it's going on? We're back here with Kid Icarus, Uprising. I very may have told you a lie. I think perhaps did I say last episode that the next episode we'd be headed off to Chapter 14, the Lightning Battle? Or just Lightning Battle? I'm gonna do a side episode to this one. I've been thinking about it, working on it for some time, and as I was saying recently, my weapon, good though it is starting to feel like it isn't really cutting it. So I did a bit of playing off camera to start building some weapons, but I was like, I didn't really make as much progress as I wanted on that, and Matthew the 13th Bard, who has been, as I said before, one of my guiding lights through the darkness in this game, suggested that I open up some of the Zodiac Chamber treasures such that my crafting grid is a little less sparse like this, where there are a lot of X's. And it was something I was kind of thinking of saving for the EX playthrough we do at the end of the game after, sometime down the line when it gets voted on to play this game again and go through and redo it all the 100% stuff, rather than being part of our main playthrough that we're doing right now where we're heading through all the missions. But I'm beginning to think that is actually a really, really good idea that we get some of the crafting grid opening up, because it will help with a great deal with trying to get the perfect weapon, because we'll have a lot more options. Because basically what you have to do is, when you find the skills you want, you have to kind of run them through multiple fuses such that you end up with one weapon that you like that has them all. And because it's kind of, at least I'm pretty sure at least some element of randomness to which skills it chooses to keep in such a fusing, the more options you have for that, the better. So the more of our crafting grid we can get unlocked, it would be the better. We had like a buttload, like 30 weapons or something at the end of last episode, and I did some fusing off camera, such that I've got these Arlon Orbitars now, which, by the way, taking down bosses also is unlocking us new weapons as we go, which is neat. Orbitars with defense +3, health +6, and recovery effect +4. If I could keep all three of those onto an artillery clause with dash continuous fire, that would be amazing. And even here, I've got a Gal Blade with defense +4, stamina +4, and dash continuous fire +4. Man, I actually had, those are the only two I really have now, but I had a whole bunch of other ones that had like health +6 and stuff, but through fuse shenanigans and me trying to like make the perfect weapon, I messed it all up. Because as you can see, very few, I think there's some art and science to it. Because I don't like right now I've got a lot of skills that I want on this one on Orbitars, but to get those back into artillery claws is challenging, because as you can see, it's very infrequent that all three skills get carried over. In fact, I have no fuses available to me that would do it, which is why I'm just trying to build as many weapons with the skills that I like as possible, in the hopes that I can maybe just like brute force it to the point that, like, if there's overall defense +5 on one and +5 on the other, then the chances of it keeping that are much greater, is my thought process. Nevertheless, let's get my little program out. If I just have a look at artillery claws, because I'm pretty sure orbs are something that can make it. So cannons and orbs, clubs and orbs are both the things that Orbitars can fuse to make it. Sorry, I skipped over my own voice there. Oh, interesting. I misspelled Arlon in the list here. Silly me. Nevertheless, if I have Arlon Orbitars, I can fuse it with a black club to make the thing, or a doom cannon. So the ideal would be that we get a black club with dash continuous fire +4 on it, and try and fuse that with the Arlon Orbitars. Oh, this is a shame. I've got Gal Blade here and artillery claws that do dash continuous fire, and it won't make the black club that does the continuous fire. But anyway, as it stands, honestly, so long as I could get artillery claw. Oh, I don't know if I still have them. Oh, yes, I do. Actually, I just want to. Sorry, before I carry on that train of thought. So this is going to be a very scattered video, as it was last time, because this fuse system pulls my brain in all different directions like taffy. I've got an artillery clause with 3 stars here. It has no extra added effectiveness to its dash continuous fire, but still does 142 on forward dash, which is less than my 3-star one does with the effect. But I'm saying, like, if we then got a 6-star one with the effect, so this is 5.5, not 6, but a 6-star one with dash continuous fire, we'd be doing like horrific sums of damage. Horrific and terrific. Either way, that's not necessarily realistic. I'd be the ultimate end of this episode, if nothing else, we'll have accomplished getting some of the Zodiac chambers, but the ultimate end of this episode for me is I would like to come out of it with a better artillery clause. One that keeps basically the at bare minimum is an artillery clause that keeps dash continuous fire +4 and at least 3 range stars, but improves the defense over just the defense +1 I've got on this thing. So really the dream for me here would be if I got all these overall defense +3, health +6, and recovery effect +4 onto an artillery clause with 6 stars and dash continuous fire +4. That would be like the most I could really ask for. Or even a defense +6 if we were being saucy. But really, I think that's dreadfully unlikely. And probably what we're more likely to get is we'll end up with like 2 of these effects on the final artillery clause. But who knows? Maybe we find a weapon that's got health +6 and defense +6, and dash continuous fire, and then all I have to do is merge that into something to make artillery claws. So just before I head out and actually start going and doing all this stuff, let's just see if there's anything I can fuse that would have any sense to be fused here. It was Doom Cannon and black club that we want to be paying attention for. But we do need more weapons than we really have here. I suppose I could buy up some cheap ones, but I don't want to sacrifice on the stars. So I said we get to a mission. I am going to grab the Zodiac Chamber on this one. I'm going to do it on standard. Actually, perhaps I'll put on my heart bonus artillery claws and I'll just go on 7. That should be handleable. I was kindly told that I did in fact walk right up to the Zodiac Chamber. It was the platform on the same one where there's that like giant pillar. Well, you'll see in a minute. But I was too scared to go up it at the time because we were doing a 9 run. This will also get us some hearts and weapons. Like I was saying, it would be nice if we ended up with confusion also on the artillery claws, since I've gotten so used to that and I do like it. But I'm sure we'll make do, even if that's not the case. It only recently occurred to me just how dramatically the higher difficulties ask for more hearts. Like, this one took like 11,000 or 13,000 on 9.0, but on 7 it only takes 4,000. Like, it scales exponentially. To do it on even difficulty 7 would cost you like a fraction as much on basically every mission. You have to do like 5 missions to count for the cost of 1 9 mission. Is that just a club? Gimme. It's a skyscraper club. I want it, give it, yes, good. You can see the invisible one shadows as well, which helps. Aside from the Zodiac Chamber, there's also some little something up here. It looks like maybe you'd bounce to here and then it would bounce you up here and there's some treasure going on there. I don't know for sure if that will take us, that might be like an alternate route. Probably not, it's probably just some treasure, but just in the interest of time, well, actually, you know what? Why not? Let's see where it goes now, because if it does take me past the Zodiac Chamber, like it takes the alternate route or something, then I could just play the mission again, get more hearts. That's still part of our mission objective, getting hearts and treasure and stuff. So I'd be forsaking nothing. And only gaining. Yep. We go. Enemies? Ooh, yeah, there's this thing. Okay, it's fine. Shouldn't be so bad. Yep. And I'm just gonna do that a few more times so I can loot this thing in peace and then take the bounce pad back. Or maybe it'll take me to that platform that was behind me. We'll see. Oh, I missed that first hit. It's alright. It's alright. It's cool. It's no problem. It's cool. It's fine. It's no problem. Howie! Not what I want to do. Not what I meant to do. Alright, did that treasure chest just disappear? Oh, there's another one over here. Okay, I have questions. Anyway, boing! Oh no, so I wonder what that platform is about. Anyway, good to know this just takes you back here. That actually probably would have been good to do in certain 9 runs. If it dropped a melon like it just did. Which I guess that's not guaranteed. Whee! Alright, let me not mess this bit up that I suck at. It is a little tougher since my weapon is worse, but on 7, it's like I've been saying, pretty dramatically easier than 9. The gap between these two difficulties is pretty wild. Whatever, we're down the rabbit hole of exploring this place thoroughly, even though we haven't done that yet, so why not? Let's, check what's over here as well. A boing! Ooh, more hearts. Alright, a boing. Interesting. It does.
Listen, this probably goes without saying, but... Yes? Be careful not to fall.
Okay. Right. You know what? I appreciate you saying the things that you think go without saying, because if I've proven anything in this game so far, is that my common sense is severely lacking. Oh, neat! Oh, that would have been so helpful in 9. Man, I really forsook all this useful stuff, didn't I? All these side paths would have been, like, incredibly helpful for not dying. And I thought they were all extra stuff. Right, here it is. Just gotta not mess this up now. I just took all of those in the face. Anyway, that fight is done, and there's now a platform that shows up right over here on the side, which I walked right up to, and I was like, I really wonder what's up here, but I'm afraid, so let's have a look-see here. And how immediately does it take you to the Zodiac Chamber? Is it like, there's one more enemy, or no, that's all. We were literally right there. We could have had it already. Never mind. I don't know what that star sign is at all, but I guess we're about to find out because we've got the Virgo Palm! Fantabulous. Our crafting grid gets exponentially better. Someone found an Intensigate if there is one, though. And I won't pursue it because that's not what this episode is about. Getting all the golden laurels I'm happy to leave till 100%. The Zodiac Chambers are probably a good thing to have for the crafting aspect that they provide. It's for that reason that I also kind of wish they told you what rewards you get from each of the treasure hunt panels, because it would be nice to hunt down the ones that give you weapon unlocks, while leaving some other ones for 100%. I guess I can just look it up also. That one hit me! Oh boy. Man, the melee capacity on this thing is pretty reliable in some ways, and pretty weak in others. I'm gonna dip now. See ya.
Now's your chance. Attack.
Got it in 1. Good. And 22,000 hearts is not bad for considering we played it on 7 just then. You still do get tons of hearts in this place. Yeah, but the weapons aren't all that. Find the Virgo Zodiac Chamber and take its treasure. Done, dilly did. Which unlocked us a few other hints as to what what to do for all these other ones as well. Play for more than 50 hours. We're actually pretty close to that, aren't we? Did we see it was like 45 earlier? Yeah, brought us up to 58%. Total game time, 53 hours. So I guess, total playtime means like the time I'm actually in missions and stuff. I spent a lot more time since last episode and just in the menus, apparently. Sweet, well, let's not do any weapon processing until... okay, apparently there weren't any intensity gates, or if they were, I got them and I didn't notice. Let's not do any weapon customization until we've gotten all these Zodiac Chambers, because that'll then give us a healthy supply of weapons from which to work. So Chapter 10, the Wish Seed. We found the Zodiac Chamber, but then I died. Is that right? I think that might be it, so I'll go through on 7 and see if I can grab it. I'm trying to strike a balance between leaving stuff to do for 100% and not, like, heavily impeding our progress by avoiding collectibles in the main run. Gotta say, I don't like the things that throw molten rocks at you. That's just a mean pastime, but they are super cute. Wouldn't be the first time in this playthrough, in fact, that I thought something was attractive that wasn't good for me. By the way, there's something I've noticed that I don't know that it's... I've mentioned it before, but, in any case where your superpowers are grayed out, i.e. it's in a cutscene or you just used another one or you're being knocked back and can't use them, if you click one, it still like remembers that you clicked it for about a second and a half or 2 seconds. So like if you're in the middle of being hit and you press one, then when you get up, you'll then use it. So you can sort of store that memory, but it only remembers it for like 2 seconds, so it's a little weird. And I've messed that up a number of times, used powers when they weren't necessary, or been surprised that they ended up using them when I even didn't think I was able to use them, like, while I was getting comboed or whatever. So that's just something I noticed while editing that was confusing me in the game, and I've worked it out, so yay. Sorry for being confused.
Anyone more deserving of the Wish Seed than yours.
Ooh, that was just in time.
Now that the statue is settled into the lava, I don't think it'll budge.
Oh, huh. That puts the treasure chest back here when you do that. Cool. Oh, that's a Mimicutie. Never mind. I lied. Ignore me. Still, it lets hearts and stuff. Actually, do Mimicuties drop, like, loot in this game? Well, I say that as if there's Mimicuties in other games. I mean, like Mimics do in other games. It gives you one of these, like, turret things. So I guess yes, because I think those are things that can drop when other treasures can also. As in, like normal treasure chests do, where they can drop a multitude of things. And it was just back up here, right? Yes. Grab that Leo palm or claw or whatever it was. Yoink! Cannon. It's a big old lion face, too. Sick. Although there are some chests that always give you a certain item, like this one always gives you a grenade. So maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe that Mimicutie always gives you the killer eye or whatever it's called. That thing I knew was a thing from Smash. It does basically the same thing.
To resist the lure of a wish-granting item.
And since they can't get the Wish Seed from the
Like there, I don't know if you saw, but I hit the effect recovery and then the heal one, and it didn't do the heal one for me because it was still doing the effect recovery, but it stayed large, like it remembered that I hit it. And it activated a few seconds later. Just to bear in mind that that works that way. I'm gonna die if I'm not careful here. By the way, while we're here, I'm really curious how I'm actually meant to do this without taking damage, because this thing here that drops down onto this platform, or moves to the next one, I guess. If I shoot it, it loses its icicles at me. So I guess you just have to shoot it and dodge. That's really the only way across, because otherwise, if you jump across, you just run into it. I guess that's reasonable enough. Also, I've been told, kindly in the comments, by Bulldog PC's 1893, thank you very much, that at the beginning of the boss fight in this place, you can just smash the Wish Seed, and it ends the fight immediately, which I absolutely have to try, because that sounds hilarious. And go on, let's have a try at this intensity gate that's right over here, that I completely missed the first time. It's only a 4 intensity gate, so probably that means it's totally fine, and oh, it's another hot spring, is it? Interesting. I'll get rid of the antlion thing and then the ghost in the box first, but then let's head down there and see what's what. Could also be some treasure.
Yes! It's hot spring time!
It seems that there are hot springs
Sweep,
on the upper
and then
lower levels.
wonk.
Nothing brightens the complexion like a mineral spring. And lava.
Oh, it has more attacks than just that one. Well, good, I poisoned it to death. So there we go. I'm a hero. Oh, interesting, but just like there's actually more down here. Curious. Oh, when she said there's springs on the upper and lower levels, I thought she was just saying that the spring we found earlier was on an upper level. But no, she's saying there's this one here, and then there's one down there. Past this, maybe Mimicutie? Yes, it is. Are all the smaller ones like that? Or some of the smaller ones? I feel like one or two of the smaller ones has been a real one. Don't love that. Oh, good to see they kept the insane acrobatics and kicking from the Dark Souls mimics. Interesting, but then where does this all lead out? Is there just like a road back up? Is that what that is over there? Oh, I can't actually get down here, so I guess that has to be a ramp down. Except it isn't. Wait, so what the hell? Oh, or is that just flavor down there? There's actually, you can't be down there. Huh. Just fleshing out the world a bit. I see. Cool. Or maybe I'm totally wrong. Anyway, to Phoenix with us. Ah, bugger, I didn't check the store in between missions. I should always do that, because every mission you do rotates the entire stock, I'm pretty sure. My god, I almost died on this last path. I'll have that drank, please. Alright, let's see about trying to smash this thing. It might be that I don't have the power for it, and you maybe have to do it, like, really fast, but I would really like to try this.
So I should go ahead and attack him?
You have no choice, unless you want to be flambéed.
Well, I smashed the wish seed. Okay, well, I wasn't ready for the actual fight. Oh god, I'm already gonna die. It's fine, I think it's cool to continue in the way we have it set up. Oh boy, this is very, very, very bad. At least I'm tireless, though, so I can spam dodge as much as I want.
Your shots.
So shoot in front of him?
Right. Your shots will take a while to land, so shoot where the target's going to be.
Ooh, I actually did manage to jump over with that. Be over now, fight. Thank you. Oh god, that was close.
I'll have a nice cold drink waiting for you when you get back.
I wonder how the cutscene changes if you've done this, though.
Now everyone will know the wish seed was a fake!
No, no, no. That beacon shows the world that the Phoenix has been defeated, which will only make the humans believe that someone has taken the wish seed. Now I'll just give them a little nudge. People of the world!
I guess the rest of it's basically the same. Right. Neat. Perhaps I didn't do it fast enough, or perhaps there's some rule about it only on certain difficulties that it skips the fight. Nevertheless, it's cool that you can break it and it changes the cutscene. Right, so the Leo Can, which is the coolest looking thing I've ever seen in my life. Some Wolf Claws, Burning Palm. Oh yeah, the weapons you get really are pretty underwhelming on even 7 in terms of stats. Nevertheless, they can be merged. Zodiac Chamber found it did. Ooh, we probably have a bunch of eggs for idle toss now, don't we? Yeah, because I would like, it's probably a bit unrealistic, but I would like, by the end of our 100% run, to have all the idols as well. It's gonna take a while, but I think it can be done. Space Pirate ship was the Cancer Claw, right? And we did actually ended up leaving with that one. Dark Pit, there was the one that, I forget what it was, but it's in the basement, and we did leave with that. Reaper's Line of Sight. Right, I got it off camera and then died, so we have to go back for this. Do I remember where it is? Yeah, actually I do. Yeah, it took me a moment, but it's in that, the hole with the glowing light.
What's our mission this time? Those guys? They're always freaking out and calling everyone right back.
There's also treasure this way we found one time, but never mind it.
Don't panic, Pit, but there's a
Here it is,
cover
down here.
nearby. It's traffic
And I
now,
don't
so
remember,
I suggest
Sagittarius
you
something maybe?
It's one dangerous area.
Taurus, that's the one. Knew it all along. No, it landed me back into, no. Thank you. On that note, we haven't actually seen these come back yet, where you have to shoot a bunch of targets. We had something similar to Chapter 14, I guess, but, or 13, whatever one was, yeah, 13. The Lunar Palace, but not these targets particularly yet. Makes me wonder, it feels like the sort of thing that they wouldn't introduce if you didn't have to do it with enemies at some point. Got a question, what's going on with the Reaper in here? Oh, this is that evil hot spring they were talking about. Ah, I see. I just have to imagine bad things happen if you enter the bath with this Reaper over here. So as Pit says, I will keep moving for now. Maybe someday we'll go back and see what goes on there. No problem. So we got a Darkness Bow, that Taurus Arm. Oh, it had health plus 6 on it, neato. And that's 2 things there. We got the Taurus Zodiac Chamber and then also, oh, cleared the chapter in 14 minutes. We were speedy that time. Neat. Let's toss some idols. In fact, I'll just go 3 white eggs here and just get guaranteed the 100%. Keep us moving along here. Tiger Claws. If I'm not mistaken, that's all the Zodiac Chambers we know about taken care of? Because I'm pretty sure the Cancer Claws are what we got from this one. Sweet. Let's head to the store. See if there's anything worth taking here. This thing costs a heck of a lot, but only because of the 6-star range, which is not that important to me because we can build that pretty easily. I guess it would probably be easier to get one with like one of the less specific defenses, like shot defense or melee defense. They probably are more common since they're less good. But I kind of feel like not settling because you never know. Because well, I mean, chiefly because we get hit by melee and range just as often. I would say just as often as one another. I can move the defense and health onto a bow that also would give it paralysis plus 4, which is kind of neat. I can make a Great Reaper Palm here that has dash, continuous fire, overall defense plus 3, and health plus 6, and those are the 3 skills that I really like are the minimum of what I want kind of for the artillery claws. I mean, really, all I want is some better defense than what I've got, but this is in theory not a not horrible way to make that happen. Of course, I ditched the recovery effect, and I'm losing the stamina plus 4 and the overall defense plus 4 from Gallow Blade. And the stamina is less priority for me, but it could be really useful. Big trick here is that palms do not make claws, so I would have to then get pretty profoundly lucky in transmuting these 3 qualities onto something that I could then transmute into claws, which is, I don't feel that lucky. Holy crap, the Taurus arm we found actually gives you defense +3 and health +6, which is exactly what I had found on these Arlen Orbitars. So we've already got yet another set here of the Taurus arm, like another piece of equipment that has those things that I want, which is neat, to say the least. I mix these two to make a somewhat better ranged weapon. I think I'll do that just to give us some more fusey kind of options. Let's see what that offers us. I guess we've got a much healthier selection of weapons now. Still not as many as I really should have. Actually, are there any cheap ones I can buy here? Because may as well just buy some cheap ones for fuse fodder. You know, actually, sorry, even before I carry on here, let's just to really give ourselves a solid buffer of weapons and hearts, let's just play the first chapter once or twice. Sorry, what? Play the first chapter through a handful of times. Man, remember when playing a chapter on 9 only cost 3,000 hearts? I don't think I got to show you it. I maybe got it on screen, but I had a weapon a while I was messing with stuff off camera that had defense +6 and health +6. And I gave a try at this mission with that weapon to see how much that helped you. And it was, with both of them, it was pretty considerable. I was tanking about twice as much as normal. So if I manage to get to the defense +3 and the health +6 that we have on a few weapons right now, it won't be like quite doubling my health, but it'll be like 1.6 timesing it. In theory, or somewhere around that. And in that case, when I'm saying health, I'm not just meaning my health capacity, but the general amount of stuff I can take before I die, factoring in defense and all. We should also check out how those new Zodiac weapons we've gotten, what their attack patterns are like one of these days. Even though I'm sort of doubting at this point I'll ever get used to another weapon after this one. I also thought that about the Skyscraper Club and the that fortune bow we had right at the beginning, so. You never know, maybe for the last third of a game I pick up an entirely new weapon. And I find it has some neat niche or something. I've gotten great at that, as you can tell. Also, considering how short this mission is, you find a fair number of weapons really quickly. Because there are 3 chests in the same 200-meter space, and the mission's over. Oh, that's it. I was sassing the weapons we were getting on 7, but these ones aren't loads better anyway. Granted, I'm looking mostly at the stars there, which is not really a fair thing to do. Oh, I just started chapter 4 like an idiot. That was dumb. I was wondering why it was suddenly costing more than 3,000 hearts. I'm thinking perhaps that that plan I had way earlier of trying to get weapons with no skills on them, so that it's easier to get the weapons with the skills that I want to fuse with the skill-less weapons, such that we end up with a resultant weapon that basically just has all the same skills as the one base weapon. I think there might be something to that, and I'd like to give it some try, so I might just try and fuse weapons such that they end up with no skills, if I can help it. That wasn't very good. Yoing. Ooh. Rock bomb. Ah, damn, I haven't been checking the store in between these. You know, like I just chided myself for not doing. Also, if I forget to mention this before the end of the game, there are a lot of things I'd like to talk about when we get to the end. I really like the idea of crisis mode. It's a very neat system, the way it's if you get that desperate and low, you can heal, but it won't actually save you unless you take defensive action for some time. It adds an extra peril to being low on health, which is really neat. Speaking of being low on health. Ha! I scoff at your homing boost. Hehe, got it. When you're at my skill level, you take your wins where you can get them. Bragging about being able to dodge an enemy in the first level? We take those, Ugh. I can't imagine that, eating a big hunk of meat and ice cream at the same time is in any way pleasant or tolerable. Just feel like 2 things that don't go together and should never. Alright, that was 3. Let's see. Now we got a handful of extra hearts. Re-rolled the store. Got a handful of weapons. See what we can make happen here. Even if we're not making as far as getting a whole another... Ooh, that was a sweet new one. Making as far as getting the artillery claws I want, we've got to be able to make some headway on that. We're probably going to make a few weapons with decent stars or with some decent skills. And by the way, any of those powers we got, anything new? I'm going to imagine not. Oh, sorry. Meteor shower level 1, and that is all. So let's have a look at the power portrait progress that'll give us. Big yay! Are there really 29 missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There are 17 missing, so it's not 1-to-1. There aren't 100 in total. Which I already calculated earlier, so I don't know why I'm surprised about it. Anyway, anything worth buying in the store? There's a sale on underpants.
There's a sale on underpants. I mean...
This one's got defense. Yeah, why not? And we'll get these 2 cheaper ones as well. Dash continue... Excuse me. Dash continuous fire I would take if it were on a much higher star artillery claws, because that would still be better than what we have. So our dash continuous fire +3 instead of +4, which is what we have at present. But that's a lot of money to risk for a maybe there, so I will not. Oh my god, with all these staffs here, just look at all these cannons. Any Doom cannons hanging around? Cargo launch cannon! No Doom cannon. Doom cannon! We get 1 defense. And then not much special beyond that, but maybe we've used that because these two are otherwise decidedly unimpressive, and this improves their stats as well. And then we see about mixing that with the Arlon thing, and just out of curiosity, see what that result is. Because it will be artillery claws, but with what augments. We keep the 1 defense, the recovery effect, and it's 3 stars range. So yeah, that's not worth it. Right, I wouldn't want to do it that way anyway, because neither of those have the dash continuous fire. So really the question would be, let's see what kind of stuff we can fuse the Gowl Blade with that keeps the dash continuous fire. A Dark Pit Staff with some not bad range, although this thing's already got defense +4 on it, so it would be neat if we could keep that or the stamina. So let's see if there are any that do that. This one, we can get a Crusher Arm. That brings us farther away from the possibility of crafting artillery claws out of it. We have to then fuse it again and hope we keep the stamina and the dash continuous fires. That's adding steps that aren't really necessary or nice. Then again, though, this is a 3.5 star with the dash continuous fires. If we got that and then mixed it with, because it's not straight up averaging, like if this Twin Bellows Cannon is 3.5 and that Arlen Orbitars is 2.5, it doesn't make it 3. The process of deciding how many stars it is a bit more complicated and perhaps random than that. My point being, even if I use it into this 3.5, even though that seems kind of underwhelming as a start, it could very well end up being anything. Well, the range, it could be anything. It could be a 6 star by the end, a 1 star. So what the range stars are at this point is not my be all and end all, I guess is what I'm getting at. Oh, but it feels wrong to sacrifice the defense +4 and stamina +4 that this thing already has. Maybe one of them I could do with sacrificing. Interesting. An electroshock arm with just dash fire and overall defense. At least we simplify things then, but we're lowering my range at that point. It also still gives shaking +3, which I imagine is a status effect. It makes it so that the enemy can't aim right or something, which is basically like confusion, except arguably probably better. I guess the idea is that, unlike confusion, they can still try to aim at you in your general direction. It'll just scatter. So if it's like a bomb, that won't actually hinder them that much. Whereas confusion makes them aim, not even look at you in the right way, kind of thing. And evasion, I assume it either makes the window for dodges easier, or gives you longer invincibility for them, or makes you dash farther than when you dodge. I do not know particularly what it does, but it's something to do with dodging, I imagine. Raptor claws. I can make it already into a bunch of claws, which is kind of unusual. What did we say I need to mix it with for Gowl Blade? Somewhat Staff or Bullet Blade. I could even get a Somewhat Staff like here if I mix the Arlon Operators with my good heart bonus claws, although I don't necessarily want to do that. For somewhat obvious reasons. And even then, it's doubtful that would immediately give me that plus Gowl Blade equals Artillery Claws with better ranged, and that keeps overall defense +3, health +6, and the dash continuous fire. Interesting, I can make this into a Sagittarius bow with paralysis. I don't know that really helps much, but there is sometimes, I've been overzealous with it in the past and lost some really good skills, but there is sometimes sense to just fusing it into something else so we can rejig the odds and see how we get on then. I don't really care at all about any of the skills on either of these, so if I did something like this and got the Virgo Palm, it dramatically increases both the stars. Let's start with that, just get a slightly more impressive weapon here and see what kind of possibilities this opens up. It's the sort of thing where I could look into with my little program to see what possibilities this opens up, but that would take longer than just sort of experimenting around and having a look here. So see, we can make a nice royal blade here, which can mix with the Gowl Blade for something, but it doesn't have any of the skills we would want on the final product. Could just make some more Arlon Orbitars. Who cares? Why not? Oh, I just realized that they're both lunar sanctums. I thought they were supposed to be like his eyes or something, which I guess maybe his eyes look like that a bit as well. But that's cool. Could forge these two into an arm that's just got the defense on it. This is probably unwise, but I'm kind of rather curious what avenues that opens up, if any. Actually, this Taurus arm with both of those really good defensive things. Are there any recipes that end up with it keeping both of those? Well, there's this one, but that's because it's the Arlon Orbitars. But again, in theory, this could lead us closer to some kind of neat solution, but in a roundabout way that I didn't really take the chance on. Once again, we can just keep just a defense +3 on this, and that's 4 stars ranged. That could be rather gnarly. Let me just check some of the other options with this Burning Palm. Bearing in mind, cannons also we can forge into claws. Zowie! 6-star first blade. It's a burning palm that freezes them. The other thing I kind of don't want to budge on at all is going from a dash continuous fire to a directional dash continuous fire. I very much like that it does the same amount of damage no matter which way I dodge, and I will be upset if I lose that. Unless I got up to like 6 stars, I guess, because we were seeing that a 6-star one even before the dash continuous fire is doing about the same as our 3-star one with the dash continuous fire. So if I really got it like a high 5 to 6 star range, I might consider going for like just a side dash continuous fire, but I still want one of them to be powerful. So twin bellows cannon is what you mix to get artillery claws with the Gemini Orbitars. Good to know. And we always seem to be locked at 3 stars with them, don't we? I think we need to fuse some other junk, like this Viridi Palm and something. Kick something up into further usefulness. I was saying that before I wanted confusion, but honestly, I could go for really any status effect, or none of them if it comes to that, but I get the sense that these other ones like paralysis could be very useful without much experience with them, personally. But the idea at the moment was just to fuse this junk into something less junk. And I think the thing to do that with was to put it into the Endall arm here. Let's give that a go. Once again, I could move this stuff onto a palm, but that's not really what we want. It's because all these ones, the base weapons, are having pretty underwhelming range stars. I could get a 2... We're really compromising our defense over and over here. But 3 stars range with paralysis and defense 2? Let's see where that's going if nothing else here strikes our fancy. I suppose I could fuse away my artillery claws that have dash continuous fire on them now. The trouble is really that if I'm not careful, I will lose them. I will lose this and have a really hard time getting even something as remotely as good as what I had back. But I shouldn't neglect at least the possibility that these artillery claws could be useful in being fused eventually to get back into artillery claws with a dash continuous fire +4. Oh, interesting. Dash continuous fire +4 and defense +3 onto this one thing. I'm forsaking the paralysis, but I think we said we're not necessarily mad about that. Oh, I've got 2 Endall arms here. I can just carry over just the defense and make it into a 2.5 star bow. I kind of like this, but let me just check if there's anything else the Gal Blade would want to fuse with. How many of them keep the dash continuous fire and the defense? Not many, to be clear. Bump it up to a 2.5 rose staff with stamina and continuous fire here. Not horrible. You could do worse. 3.5 claws with stamina and dash continuous fire. I think we looked at this one earlier and I wasn't as fussed last time, but I'm starting to warm up to it, if I'm honest. The dash fire is the more important thing. We're likely to lose the stamina along the way regardless of what I do. Holy crap, look at this. Stars on this one. It sounds like a dirty euphemism. It's not. Stuff it. I want to change one way or another. So I'm either doing these wolf claws or this bow. Wolf claws. Ooh. This one keeps the defense +3 and gets rid of one of these, the Endall arm, which I'm not really impressed with so far. So yes, let's do that. So we can. Hopefully, this thing will have some fuse it can keep that keeps dash continuous fire and defense and has a few more stars. Okay, we're getting warmer. Very few of them are keeping the dash fire. We're just going down by 1 level of defense each time, it seems. Can grab a 3-star Doom Cannon here, but of course that's ruining our awesome Arlon Orbitars here that have all this health stuff. I'm not terribly impressed by our array of options here, but this one keeps the defense and continuous fire, and I could mix it again. It's just, you do this enough, though, and you run out of weapons altogether, which is the real danger. But I'm feeling gutsy. Let's give it a go. See what happens. 3-star Viper Blade with now no defensive stuff on it. That could have some merit. So I know I'm like a bull in a glassware shop or whatever with this. I'm just charging through and doing whatever probably is annoying some people who are better at this sort of thing. Okay, now I can put it back into a Hawkeye bow, but this time with 3 defense and 4 continuous fire and some much higher starage, 3.5. Getting rid of our 6-star artillery claws here. As long as we're kind of growing it, I don't actually hate it. I probably can't really bring myself to part with the upper dash arm, even in the sake of this quest, after all we went through to get it. I think I'll go with the blade, because it seems like I'm wasting less than, because I'm only wasting this silly needle palm that wasn't actually that good anyway. I'm losing the defense, I suppose, but defense +3 is not the rarest. We've got some other good ones, some other ones with good defenses around. So let's try out this Viper Blade, see what the possibilities are there. Oh man, basically none of these are keeping the dash continuous fire. Although interestingly, this one is defense 2, dash charge shot +4 and dash continuous fire +4, which, I mean, we're not doing dash charge shots nearly as often as dash continuous fire with the claws, but +4, I imagine that would still be pretty tremendous. Of course, if we mix it with the artillery claws, it doesn't keep either of the dash continuous fires. But I'm starting to believe that I'm running myself in a loop here. That said, have a look at this one. 4 stars keeping the dash continuous fire. I will actually take that. Goodbye, flintlock staff. We'll make another. Whenever we do make a good flintlock staff, if I ever decide to go with that weapon again, because it seems like it could have some use. I haven't found as often that sniping is really an option in the bosses. A lot of them like to lurch towards you, and that you can't, and especially with a staff, it's hard to run away. So the incredible damage it can do is great, like really only on paper. Or papyrus. So what my point being that I can be a little cavalier with throwing away a good flintlock staff if I have one, even though I like them, because the only thing I really would need on them is some kind of dash charge shot, preferably a forward or back, because I think hitting a side dash charge shot from a great range would be rather challenging. 4.5 star meteor bow with dash continuous fire. We're actually getting warmer here. So I guess I better be careful not to use the fireworks cannon, because if I fuse a bunch of other stuff and none of it's any good, then we probably do want to try this out. But trying to keep in mind not to use the fireworks cannon. Let's try and fuse some of the really garbagey ones. Like this beam claws is nothing. Let's find something to improve it. Ideally, something that improves the both of them. Well, there is one, but it's just the fireworks cannon. We're doing a moderate improvement here, up to 2 stars ranged. Moderately improves over both of them. I'm very wary of that defense -3, because we can't be having that. But Jinkies, it sure is easy to accidentally use one of the ones you're trying to keep. I'm pretty aware. Sorry, there's really something in my eye. I'm pretty aware that there is something to there is a strategy to this that I've not perfected. And not really even come close yet, because you kind of have to circle around to the weapon you want, and there's like I said before, an art and a science to it that has thus far escaped me, but that's kind of all right. I don't mind so bad. I don't mind so much. There's a non-zero chance, because I don't know, that maybe having the better melee might help the ranged, because it won't be dedicating any of its, like, par or whatever to trying to bring the melee up of your when you fuse. I'm not sure. Oh, now, a 1.5 plus 3.5 equals 4.5 is not horrible. And we're not really forsaking any dreadfully good skills here. Unfortunately, we're adding a debuff. Although standing charge shot we're not using that much with artillery claws anyway, so if that ends up on it, I guess so be it. But also this twin bellows cannon, we could... It's probably more of an upgrade, really, to go from... Rather than go from 3.5 to 4.5, to go from 1.5 on both of them to 4. Oh, was it this one I was about to do, was it? No, it was this. Yes, let's do this before I forget again. Once again, getting rid of the cannon, we could get a 5-star flintlock staff with basically no nice skills. That's the only improvement over its stats-wise, and we are starting to run out of weapons. I think I might end up doing what I was saying I was going to do earlier, and do the fireworks cannon in whichever one I said I'd do the fireworks cannon with. Oh, the meteor bow, this, right. Let's bring this up to, this dash continuous fire up to a 4-star, 4.5 star rather, keeping the dash continuous fire, and a bit of health and confusion, which are nice. And see how we make out with that. This lowers it down to a royal blade of 3 stars. Which is a pretty dramatic step down, I would say. And I think it's doing that because it's keeping all these skills, which I don't really care for. We're not doing much that's keeping the continuous fire and good stats. Oh, this is kind of interesting. We're brought down to a 4-star, but we're back into Arlon Orbitars. Then we just need a black club and or one of the other thing, whatever the other thing was. And the plot thickens. I could get a Predator Cannon with the dash fire and the recovery effect and health +1, which isn't bad, because we don't even have that on our current ones. So then all I would need to do is find a decent defense to mix it with. And we'd have probably a dash continuous fire artillery claws with better stars and better defensive power already. And yet I don't quite feel ready to give up this awesome set of stuff we've got here. I will say I'm starting to get a little tired, just because this takes so much energy from me focusing on this. So I'm sorry my voice starts to do that droopy thing it does where you can barely hear me because I'm going muttering into my own throat. But I feel like we're close to a breakthrough for some reason. Couldn't really put my finger on why I feel that way. I've got a question for you, program. What do Arlon Orbitars and Arlon Orbitars do together? And I have to remember that I misspelled them Aryan, so it wants me to type that. There were a lot of weapons to type in, okay? Makes a Cragalanche cannon. Alright. And what do I do with a Cragalanche cannon? Either boom Orbitars. That's it. That's the only one cannon lets you do. No. Yeah. So boom Orbitars, which I think maybe we don't even have unlocked. because I feel like I've never seen them. Let me play another mission and get some stuff from the store and all. There may actually even be some sense in just buying everything from the store, whether I think it looks useful or not. I mean, as long as it's not like 100,000 hearts. Just to get absolutely... Because when you're making the best progress in the crafting is when you have tons and tons of options to choose from. But obviously I'll buy these really cheap ones and see about fusing them up into something more interesting. Overall defense -4, I think not. But then some of them, I mean, 16,000 hearts doesn't really seem worth it for something of this stars with these skills that I don't want. Ditto this one, considering it's got the health debuff and it's got the defense and the poison, and the 4 stars range are the only things I really care about there. That seems like a lot of money for that. Then maybe I won't just buy absolutely everything, but I should get a little more lenient with what I choose to buy and not buy, I guess, is my point. Can you imagine if I was still playing with the controller with the broken stick from episode 1? That would be the worst. I'm glad I corrected it when I did, because man, I would not have made it past episode 2 even. I guess, is it maybe not 100% like it's the only way, but it's definitely more frequently that you get drop the boss weapon in the same map as that boss. Like I'm getting lots of Twin Bellas cannons here, for instance. And I would get Grape Reaper palms in chapter 4 and so on. I think that is a thing. But I feel like I've gotten a Kraken arm in somewhere that was not the spaceship before. Maybe I'm wrong about that. That's more like it. And Idle Toss. Ooh, that wasn't 100% chance. The Immortal Phoenix. And check if anything else interesting here. Okay, defense +3 and range 6 stars. Yeah, I could totally go for that. Even in spite of the health -3. I'm happy with that. Let's grab one of those. Defense +2 and 2.5 stars? Sure, for 16,000 I'll go for that. Overall defense +5, health +4 for almost 100,000. I'll do it. Ancient Staff. Standing Continuous Fire +4 could be useful for some other project down the line. Let's buy it all out. I used a lot of money there, but you can rack it up pretty quickly by doing this mission over and over. And it's all in service of getting a better weapon, which will ultimately allow us to die less in the future, which will we require less hearts for completing missions. As far as I can tell, in terms of the time you have to put in to beat the mission, which is like 5 or 6 minutes on this one, a little closer to 7 or 8. It's like 8 minutes for 14,000 hearts, even though some of the later missions you can get like 22,000 hearts pretty easily. That's like in taking 20 minutes. So hearts per minute. I feel like this first mission has felt the best for me so far. There probably is an optimal strat on some stage that isn't this one. I've had the best luck with just going on 9 in this place. Purely for gathering hearts, I mean. Watch us go back to the store now, and there's going to be an artillery clause with Dash Continuous Fire, health +6, and defense +6. But it's cost like 300,000. We won't be able to afford it. Say I'm mighty pleased that those vases that spit out snakes have not returned quite as much in recent missions. I always find them pretty tough to deal with when there are any other enemies around. Yes, indeed, some pretty solid weapons we're picking up now. And let's now have a look at, first of all, Idle Toss. Oh, never mind. Let's save that up, I guess. Now, anything useful in the store? Ah, shucks, we can't afford this one, but it's got the defense +5 on it. But we've already got one. Dang, all the high, expensive ones have some defense on them. Ah, whatever. We'll grab the cheap ones, including this one here, and then all of these bunch. We'll work something out. If you're with the right people, you can handle anything. In this case, the right people is a whole bunch of guns. So already, for instance, here I could make a, oh, well, this one's already 4.5 stars, but I can make a 3.5 star cannon, but bearing in mind that cannons can be fused into a claws, so we're getting closer to a claws there, which has some sense to it. Ditto for blades, in fact. I can fuse this one here with a Dash Continuous Fire onto a blade. And a 4-star Poseidon Cannon. What does Poseidon Cannon need to become Artillery Claws? And also, can I spell Artillery Claws? Poseidon Cannon would need Eye Track Orbitars, which, do we have any hanging around right still? I think we got rid of them. But either way, it could be, it's not a horrible, could be a not horrible first step toward getting this fuse synergy lined up. 3.5-star Bomber Arm with the 5 defense, losing the 4 health pretty quickly there. It's a bit sad. A 1.5-star Bomber Arm that keeps them both. Alright, I didn't mean that. I could mix it with the Leo Cannon, go to a 2.5-star Staff that keeps precisely the 3 that I do want. Well, it doesn't have the confusion, but I'm kind of into this Orb Staff move. I can't say exactly why. And it also gets rid of that heart bonus minus down there, which I like getting rid of that. Getting rid of that makes me very happy. The recovery effect is less my priority, I would say, than the defense and health, but it still would be rather nice because it makes it would make bring my heals from alright to really helpful. But then again, in a hectic battle, very frequently you find that you don't have time to use them, or if you use them, you immediately lose them. So that it's really not, I shouldn't spend very much energy trying to keep it, I think. There's a little bit of point to getting the recovery effect plus defense +2 on this 5-star cannon, but not enough to forsake that 5 defense and 4 health that we just spent all our money on. This health -3 is a plague on my house. Actually, I'm kind of feeling like doing something a bit daring. It's going to be tough to get the Arlon Orbitars into all 3 of those effects onto anything anyway. We are turning 2 overall defenses into 1, but I'm going to go for it. Part of the reason we're getting so much gear is that so we can make big strides like this without immediately running out of options. I feel pretty good about that. Even if it's incremental progress, if we're bringing these skills up the line, it feels worthwhile as an up in range stars each time. So I have no idea what the end runtime of this episode will be. I can't remember how long I was recording. It was like 4 hours or something the last time we did a side episode like this. But it was like a 4-hour recording, but it ended up only being about 56 minutes of video. It's been 3 hours thus far, and I don't have a good sense of how long the video will end up being. I could probably cut a bunch of nonsense as per usual. Let's go for that club there. I kind of like the idea of this. I feel like the Skyscraper Club isn't helping us too much here. And that Orbitars somehow feel like they'll be more helpful. Because I have a few of them generally, I guess, is the idea. So we're more likely to run into fuses that I have not done yet. Holy crap! I can mix a 0-star melee with a 2-star melee to get a 6-star melee cannon. For some reason. You know, one thing I'm starting to realize is that I think I might have preferred it if you had 2 that had health +1, there was a chance they could merge into health +2. Because as it stands, the only way to get like really high tier ones is just to find them on a weapon that's out there or in the store, and then just like pray that they stay through like all the transformations. Maybe it would be too easy then if you could just say I have speed +2 and speed +1 over here, it becomes a speed +3. But it would kind of feel right if you had 2 weapons that were good at health. They would become better at health when merged together. You mix the half-a-star to the 0th star to make another half-star. Oh, here we go. Half-star with 0 to make a 1.5. There is a pair of artillery claws here, but of course it does not carry over the dash continuous fire because life isn't fair. Nevertheless, we probably wouldn't want it anyway because it would be... Well, I mean, it would be an increase. It would be a half-star in the range, and then we'd also have the defense and health +1 and some recovery effect and stuff. But we can do better. I'm basically almost always going down in stars whenever I get to bring these with me. I could bring this defense +2 onto a Palutena blade. When did I get the Palutena blade anyway? I got that as an unlock from some treasure hunt thing, didn't I? You know what? I do like that. I'm going for that. If for no other reason than it's a blade we've never had before, so it offers some opportunities we probably have not thought of. Very well, in the interest of not staying here doing nothing forever, let's get this a whirl. I'm losing health and recovery effect, which seems like a big loss, but, I mean, it's starting to become clear that it's going to be hard to carry all 3 of them through anything, really. I could get... Ancient Staff with 4 stars, and the 1 health with the dash continuous fire. That's something worth considering. I'm going to do that if I don't find anything I'd like to fuse the artillery claws, our base artillery claws with. Sign out a 5.5-star artillery claws. Hello, dash continuous fire, Ancient Staff. I can get another pair of 3-star artillery claws here with the Skyscraper Club. We're back to just dash continuous fire and then 1 health though, so it actually it's basically the same as what we've already got. But I think this 4-star Ancient Staff with the dash continuous fire is not a bad place to have it at for the time being. It may soon be time to go gather some more weaponry. I feel like we could be pretty close to a breakthrough as we're developing a solid supply of ones that have good defenses. And we've got 2 still that have the dash continuous fire. I feel like that Ancient Staff is going to come in handy. Because the Ancient Staff is the staff number 1, is it? Or is that inside staff? Regardless, I think it's a low number 1, which means that in order to end up with artillery claws, which is like 7, it only needs something like one of the 1 to 6 ones, which are pretty easier to come by than like 12 and 11 and 10 and stuff. Generally. My apologies, the lengthy nature of this video is likely to make it such that there'll be some delays in my schedule over the next few days from when I'm recording this, as I edit the monstrosity down. But I'm in it too far to stop now without some good, substantial progress. It's part of why I'm nervous to fuse away my artillery claws, because once I fuse them, I can't stop until I've got them back. Or something equivalent. We have to try out that instant death attack one of these days. I assume it's either like it has a low percentage chance of shots to kill, or it's like it lasts for like 3 seconds, so you can only take down a few enemies with it. This is our first time having a trade-off, isn't it? Yeah, I think it did say a chance of killing enemies instantly there, didn't it? Power Portrait? Yeah, got 2 more. Bucket Jump level 1. We've got Confused Attack, which we didn't have. Instant Death Attack. Attacks have a chance. Oh no, attacks have a chance, so it probably is a status effect it goes on to you. Use nearly all of your health to increase all your attributes. The duration depends on how much health you have. So I guess you like run faster, have more stamina, do more damage kind of thing. If, does it increase your defense as well? Like, could you use that and then spam healing stuff to get back to full health, but keep defense for a bit, maybe? Interesting. Just gonna look up quickly if instant death attack has any bearing on bosses. I imagine not. Seems that bosses are immune to instant death. And someone says here that it's a cumulative status effect such that, like I was saying earlier with Horizon Zero Dawn rules, you like fill up a gauge of instant death and then when it fills up it takes them down kind of thing. Anyway, check the store here. Ooh, health plus 5 on a cheap weapon. Yeah, go on. Health plus 4 on this easy cannon. Sure. Defense plus 2 on an optical blade. Why not? Let's grab all of this. That ought to be good for a little more experimentation. Maybe that's the play, is we should just be trying to get a whole bunch of defensive stuff onto a skyscraper club now that we got that inside staff with 4 stars. Or ancient staff, rather. Any, a skyscraper club or a viper blade. Because here I can make a skyscraper club club with 3 defense and 1 stamina. That's 2.5 stars. 2.5 stars plus 4 stars, you know, if we're averaging it. There's a chance that ends up at better than the other one. And even though I haven't gained much then, if a defense plus 3 and stamina plus 1... I would take an improvement at this point as an ending point for this episode, but does not give us the dash continuous fire plus 4, tragically. This inside staff feels like a good jumping point, so let's try and get some skyscraper clubs and viper blades with just the most frickin' range stars and defensive stuff you can have. We keep using these really defensive ones around a bunch, keeping the defensive stats high. Eventually we'll end up with a viper blade or skyscraper club, right? As an option. It's just the probability just speaks to it. I might have to give up my lovely heart-blowness artillery claws if I want to really get some progress here. I am willing to do it. Could put the health plus 6 on 3-star stealth claws? I'm not sure why that choice speaks to me. I guess because I would have been avoiding doing claws already. So let's get those, have that health plus 6 onto some claws. See where we can move it. Oh, hang on now. A 4-star railgun. Ditching the recovery effect from the palm, but that might be a necessary evil. Yeah, that might be the best we've got. That looks pretty lucky, considering how standout it is. I'm going for that, without thinking too hard about it. Sorry, you can see the light flickering in my room. Does that now and again. Hope that's not a bad sign. I can put it onto a viper blade. Oh, yeah, that's good, isn't it? That's kind of what we're after, isn't it? If I do that with the ancient staff, that's good. If it provide, you know, it's not a guarantee that it keeps them both, obviously, but it's worth the attempt, I think. Is what I mean to say. Health plus 4 and dash continues for fire plus 4. Oh, it's still 3 stars, so all I've really done is add myself a bit of health, which seems like it is a market improvement. I think that will, because that's like 1 or 2 more hits in theory. I feel like we can go higher because we've got better defensive ones than that. So won't give up just yet, but that's a nice thing to note if we can fall back on. Come on, where the heck were our really good defensive ones? Because I think, like I said before, I believe I prefer the defense. Well, didn't we have defense plus 6 somewhere along the line? Oh, it's that dynamo cannon, isn't it? Alright, this is a plague. No, this is health plus 6. Where the hell did our defense plus 6s go? I could have sworn I had at least 1 still. I must have fused it away by accident somehow. Bugger. Well, my defense plus 5. That's not too far behind anyway. Let's try and work with that for a bit. Yeah, put it right back in an Atlas Club. That's what I want. If I could get this back into a skyscraper club, that would be the best thing. Having essentially no luck whatsoever with getting this overall defense onto anything. Brawler Claws and a Palutena Blade make a skyscraper club. Brawler Claws and Viridi Claws do that. We don't have Viridi Claws, I don't think. And Brawler Claws and a Palutena Bow. So we need the Palutena stuff, and I think the only one we have is the Palutena Sword. So I guess we better pursue that for a minute here. Oh, here's a Palutena Blade. Oh, curious. No, I guess we can't do that, because the whole point of the Brawler Claws was to get it into a Skyscraper Club, which would then go into the Ancient Staff. So if we fuse away the Ancient Staff, that point is moot. Here are some Palutena Blades. and another. Out of them overwhelming me with excitement, but both of them overwhelming me with this will have to do. So let us grab the one that gives you the defense. We're fusing that to the Brawler Claws in the hope that it'll keep the defense +5 onto the Skyscraper Club. It has. Let's give it a shot, lowering the ranged a bit. We wanted that for the Ancient Staff, was it? So we check out how that goes. And... oh, it doesn't keep the defense. Bugger, but it's 3.5 stars. Oh, that would be great. Oh, it sucks. Defense +5. This would be perfect if only that defense +5 was there. I would trade the confusion, the knockback recovery, and the knockback defense for it. And all the melee stars. Let's try and bring this defense +5 around the bend again then somehow. Damn, everything I confused it into lowers its range by a fair bit. Let's put it into a Viridian because we haven't done that much. I feel like we're circling it, but we're like pretty close. Ooh. And all of a sudden, now I'm questioning everything because I can bring a health. I can ditch the defense +5 for a health +6 on a 4-star ranged. I think I shouldn't because the defense +5 is probably better. Let's look at our. There are no alternatives. Ooh. Well, no, there's not. That's not true. I could put it on a 1/2-star Samurai Blade or 1.5-star Kragalanche Cannon. Yeah, I think I feel like I'm nearing the finish line, but that doesn't mean I should just go burning away all my health +6s and my defense +5s. I should try keeping them all intact and just circle around the problem. Oh, this defense is sticky. It doesn't want to go into anything. I can't believe it's bringing everything but the health and defense. Ah, I like this, the 4-star Gemini Orbs. The health is a little less sticky than the defense. It's happy to merge on many occasions. Which I believe is because it's less good. Gemini Orbs. We could put them both on a Cancer Claws. Is that at all a good idea? It's the only thing the defense will jump off onto. I think I'll do that. Well, sorry, let's just check what else the Gemini Orbs can do. Another Ancient Staff. Curiously, also with Dash Continuous Fire. Oh, that might not be a bad idea, even though this is our Artillery Claws. Then we could have 2 Ancient Staffs with the Dash Continuous Fire. Just like primed and ready to mix with a Viper Blade or Skyscraper Club, so we get twice the chances. I'm doing that. Wait, let me just check. No, I'm doing that. Actually, sorry, it was the Cancer Claws was the other choice. Gets both of them on it, and I'm doing this. Okay, so I'm really down the rabbit hole now, because now I don't have my original Artillery Claws, but I've got 2 Ancient Staves that both, A to Z here, so you can see, they both got Dash Continuous Fire, and one of them's got health +1, and one of them's got health +6. So any opportunity to do Artillery Claws like this, we get double the opportunity, really. The only trick is that this one has got lame stars. And of course the Dash Continuous Fire is very stubborn. Ooh, oh, that's poop. I get my defense +1 and health +6 and Dash Continuous Fire, but the 2 ranged +2.5 equals 1.5. That's mean. And I think we were already here. This is one of the things we were considering is we can get a Dash Continuous Fire with health +4, which is better than what we have, but it feels paltry considering all the work we put in and how close we probably are, especially if we got these 2 Ancient Staves now. I think we need to find more Skyscraper Clubs and Viper Blades. I'm headed to Chapter 2. Bearing in mind, I'm on my Heart Bonus Artillery Claws, which is almost as good as long as you're attacking forward. Yeah, we were making it through on 9 with some ease of late, right? Let's try. Got a good feeling about this. Just a few Skyscraper Clubs and Viper Blades. We found that before, right? In this place? I feel like save chapter, the Lunar Palace, whichever one that is. Chapter 2 was still the one that gave us, like, that would be the one that gave us the second most trouble. I feel like we did this one tons of times. I can't remember how many. Once we got the Artillery Claws, most missions didn't take us more than... oh boy. 2 or 3 tries, but I think this was before that, and it was rough. Healing Orbs are right about now, aren't they?
Let's make our way underground.
Not yet. Bugger! I died! Not a good sign. I guess I could continue since we're not doing a 9 run. Where does it put me back? Because it puts me back at the start. Oh, just right here. Okay, jeepers. Sure. I'll take that. We haven't gained any treasure yet. Although I guess I'm getting worse treasure now that I'm on 8. Whatever. Ah, there are the recovery orbs. Too little, too late, my friends. It's gonna be a crazy long episode, but all of a sudden, I feel like we're super close. My poor hard drive, I'm so sorry about this. I'll give you a break soon, I promise. Our strife is nearing its end. Honestly, the triumph from this episode is gonna feel even sweeter because with the upper dash arm, it was kind of a hollow victory in the end because we didn't really use it for too much. We used it for Dark Pit, and I still am very thankful about it. But if we get some artillery claws with some serious defense on them and more attack power than we had, that'll be our go-to for the rest of the game, for sure. Almost for sure. Come on, Skyscraper Club or Viper Blade. Alrighty. Not loads of good stuff from that. Some eggy weggies. Let's just do that. Yoboink. Oh, boink. I think I'll return there and try that again. I suppose I did get a Skyscraper Club from stage 1 that one time, so perhaps it would be more time efficient to just do stage 1 a few more times, but I feel like I got Skyscraper Clubs and Viper Blades from this place before. 62% here on Eggy. Space Pirate Captain. Rest in peace. We knew you for not long enough. And a Reaper. Let us see about purchasing a... Ooh, Viper Blade. It's pretty weak sauce. It probably won't be worth it. Whatever, sometimes it randomly seems to... You mix two things that don't work together, and then it works together and gives you like a really high star weapon. Sorting by category probably does make sense for this. We can have all the blades and clubs at the same bit. A Viper Blade here. Oh, it ends up with 2 range. That sucks, because the other one's alright. The two weapons that are mixing to make it have really good range. It's because it keeps all the skills, which by the way are pretty bogus. Here we go. I can make a 2.5-star Skyscraper Club at the sacrifice of my heart bonus artillery claws. I don't have the guts. Oh, screw it. Let's have a look how this turns out. Oh, interesting. Even with the 2-star one, it's still yielding us a 3-star artillery claw. It's just as we don't get to keep this health +6 or any of the good stuff. So that's the last way we'd really want to do it. Sure, this thing, why not? Go big or go home. No, wait, that's a bad idea. Don't. Just go home. This ain't so bad. It's a much better alternative. Throwing them out my only pair of artillery claws anyway. Give this a whirl. And why not this one as well while we're at it. No. 2 stars is a no. No. Oh man, this is giving us nothing. Just do a few more chapter 1s. We're so close. I'm glad I didn't get rid of those artillery claws. It's happened before that we've dropped, fully just picked up a Skyscraper Club that had 5 ranged or whatever. Can be done. What I should absolutely check is if I've got drive space for this. I'm pretty sure I do, unlike last chapter 9. We're rolling in drive space. Look at all the claws. Some more kind of piddly Skyscraper Clubs, but let's give one a go. And also check the Viper Blade situation. Oh, we can make a powerful ranged Guardian Orbitars with this. It's a 4-star. We just made Skyscraper Club out of a Guardian Orb, so we might be able to forge this back into one. Let's give that a try. Like this. This is what I'm looking for. Alright, come on. One lucky fuse and this is it. Okay, it doesn't keep the... It only goes to 3 stars and doesn't keep the health +6. So it's not much of an improvement. Oh... That's a hard choice, because 4 stars and 1 health, and I get to keep my confusion. And this is an improvement, but it feels so sad. We can do better. So we do that, and then mix that with the claws and hope that that gives us a Skyscraper Club with the defense. Bugger! That's crap luck. What's the Dynamo Cannon need to become a Sagittarius bow? And also, can I spell Sagittarius? How many T's? How many G's? Defense on neither. Bugger. How about a Predator Cannon? Why not? Go on, do this. What's that? Work-life balance? No, I have that, I think. I got a bad case of that once. And who knows what the Cursed Palm will allow us to do, you know? Could be great things. Nope. Nope, absolutely nothing. Oh, wow. Let's put these 2 into Lancer Staff for reasons I'm not quite certain of yet. Back to the battlefield. See, I got a Thanatos Staff from here, so it can happen. Holy crap. Bugger, that actually could be great. With an Insight Staff. And I think we have one That would make an awesome thing, but we don't have the money for it nearly. Gasp. No, but it's my upper dash arm. No. Let's go get some more. We are not getting the stuff that we need. Ba ba ba. This thing has 6 stars that could be pretty cool. It is not worth the money. I will play chapter 1 again. I don't know what this song is, but it's helping. I'll grab these. Oh, that looks nice. If that would go on the Viper Blade, that would be awesome. Ooh, it's a nice skyscraper club. Please work. Oh no, but this isn't the one with... Oh! Come on, I can do better. Get this onto that. And what that allows you to do is, see, it's a funny thing. Very simple, because then you just... you don't do that. You do, yeah, sure, why not? That. And it won't go onto any goddamn thing. But the health plus 6. I'll put it on the 1-star volcano heart. Yeah. And then, oh, this is gonna be genius. Check this out. And then it easily lands on none of them. It doesn't carry over to any of them. So we go back to working the health plus 6. And the only one it'll go on is this, so sure. And then we work that. No. God, it's so punishing. Sure, this is more number. Sure, I don't know. Why not? Let's make some splurge purchases. What the hey? Hasn't got much defensive on it, but let's see this go somewhere, huh? Oh no. That went nowhere. Come on. Just drop me. All it takes 1 skyscraper club with 6 stars ranged and overall defense plus 30. None of this is thrilling me. That's some good ranged, actually. I might have that. At the very least, as we have it now, we could remake what we started with. But I know we can do better. And what's more agonizing, I know we're close to doing better. 6-star blade here. Getting rid of that new upper dash arm we just got. I'm going for that. Oh, that was dumb, wasn't it? I probably could have found an arm that would let me get a 6-star Viper blade. Bugger. That was impulsive. I could make this into a 3-star bow, losing the 6 stars, but carrying the defense over finally to something. Let's try that. Because the defense has been trapped there forever. Beam. No, they both require the ancient staff. That's no bueno. I can't question my journey now. Just remember the tall, powerful women. And we can surmount any obstacle. Just think of how proud of us the tall and powerful women will be when we succeed. To get a claw that shoots gun bullets. Ow. Ow. You get back here, you cheeky bugger. I'm not sure that cuts it. And of course I ditched the health plus 6 in that case. It just has to be all the things that either don't have the defense or are the wrong type of club that just give you tons of stars. It's actually kind of weird that has happening so much. Like, should I be trying to make a different kind of club and then just collaterally I'll get a good skyscraper club by accident? Is that the trick to it that I've been missing all this time? Should we just try the skyscraper club? Say forget the health plus 6. I've got a health plus 6 on one of them. Come on, let's get something good. 2.5. What is this hogwash? Let's make this pair of artillery claws and then fuse it out into something else. You're like, oh, that's cool. No, it isn't. Wait, never mind. It beats doing nothing, which is what we've been doing. Seriously though, how is it the only 2 it keeps the defense on are the 2 that I can't do? Sure, flintlock staff. It's one heck of a phoenix arm. Sure, sounds fun. Oh, hey now. This could be good. This could be really good. I'm getting tinkly. Because with a little pinch of luck, and some hopes and dreams. Oh, why does that happen? 4.5 plus 4 equals 3.5. That's not okay. It is, however marginally, it is better than what we started with, though, and I'm starting to think that might be where we should draw the line. If nothing else, we still have this other ancient staff to do this, to carry on with. Screw it. I'm doing this. Boosh. Got 3.5 stars ranged. Got a bit more standing charge shot to it. Dash continuous fires. You know, it's a little better. Oh, why is it better backwards? I don't actually know. Has it always been like that? You know what, the important thing is it actually doesn't matter in the slightest, because we're done. And it's an Imperial attack boost. Hey, why not? I might try a bit more off camera and see if I can get something slightly better than that, but you've been let in on the process, okay? And you know what? We got an improved artillery clause. I don't have any energy to celebrate, so I'll defer to my future self. Listen to him. Thank you very much, past me, and yahoo! Let's make these artillery claws, baby. 4.5 stars ranged, dash continuous fire +4, defense +1, speed +2, melee dash attack -1. I've been on a journey. It was March 25th at the beginning of this video. Now it's March 28th. After I ended the 6-hour recording last time, I went, you know what, I'm just gonna play a bit more tonight, because, like, you know, we did get a 3.5 star one with dash continuous fire +4, but I just didn't feel like that was worth the 6 hours. Oh, how naive I was. Because I was thinking, you know, if the last time we did a video like this, it was like, what, 2.5 hours, maybe? And before we got our sick upper dash arm? And I was like, that's a long time. This has got to go shorter. I then carried on what I was doing, just playing that first mission over and over again on 9 for 7 hours the day after, March 26th. And it was only at that point when I had gotten just like the barest hint of a few recipes for artillery claws that were like maybe a bit like this, that didn't really get you much. And it was after I had this lovely pair of Guardian Orbitars with dash continuous fire +4 on them, and I got 3 or 4 of whatever the pair to that is, Skyscraper Club or something, and not a one of them carried over the dash continuous fire. That was around the point I started to realize, hey, hold on a minute. There's something I really don't understand about how this works. So I finally caved in and looked up a guide on GameFAQs, which I will try to link you know where, although the last time I tried to re-access it, the GameFAQs was down for some reason. And I decided to read up on it and figure out how this actually works, because I didn't understand. And I learned many of my misapprehensions. I had some stuff right, though, some of the stuff that I'd sort of guessed at. For one, I was kind of guessing that each ability had some kind of weight to it, and I was 100% correct about that. Each one has a numerical value, including range stars and melee stars. But what I didn't really clock, was that most of your weapons, so there's, I think that the article said there was a lot of stuff in that article, so a lot of it I've forgotten. What it basically said that the absolute cap for a weapon's value is 342, but that's very, very difficult to achieve, and mostly you're usually petering out around 300, which totally tracks with what we see. Like most of our most powerful weapons, actually I can sort by strength. Let's see, our most powerful weapons, 295, 273, 272, so on and so forth. 295 being the one we just, oh no, this isn't technically the 3.5 one is higher value, but it's got a bunch of skills I don't care about and 3 melee stars. And this is the one we just made, which I think will be more useful for me, even though it's technically lower value. So the way I believe I understood it to work was, if the 2 weapons you're fusing are of roughly equal value, the value of the end product weapon generally increases. If there's a large gap between them, let's see if I can find some evidence here. Like this one, it tries to average them out a bit more. So you can see 266 plus 211 equals a 253. 253. Whereas I put this 211 with a 209, we get a 225. And as you get higher and higher, the margin for how far away they can be while still being close enough to get an increase, it shrinks. Such that by the end you basically would have to have them the exact same number to increase, essentially. But of course, there's some decision making that's a little obtuse and not really explained to the player that chooses whether those points of value are put into increasing the range stars, the melee stars, or keeping some of these skills. And that's, I think, where a lot of the randomness comes in. So, for instance, if I had one that was range 3 stars, the other one that was range 3 stars, and neither of them had any melee stars, and they both had, like, a powerful, like, maybe it was, like, defense +4, and then dash continuous fire +4. Sure, if they're both value, you know, roughly 240 or whatever that would make it, it's likely to go up to 260, but 260 isn't enough to allow it to stay at 3 stars ranged and have defense and dash continuous fire is the thing. So what you're most likely going to get is it's going to try and increase the range stars and then drop one of those skills. Is it hard to understand what I'm saying? That's because it's hard to understand, and the game makes no effort whatsoever to explain it. There are probably some loading screen tips that mention it briefly. The closest thing I came to an understanding of that was one time on a loading screen it said fusing powerful weapons with each other is likely to yield other powerful weapons, which basically does mean that, I guess. It's just not very specific. Anyway, so one of the big things that I wasn't realizing I should do, because I didn't realize there was like a cap around 300, I was like, okay, I just want weapons that are as high value as possible. So what I was trying to do all this time, even though I don't actually really care about the melee stat that much, is I was trying to grow ranged and melee as much as possible, such that the weapon would be considered more powerful. And then I thought, therefore, if it has a higher value because it's more powerful, it has more space to have the good skills that I really want. Wrong, because melee stars and range stars both take up value. So having a bunch of, 6 melee stars when I don't actually care about melee is a bad idea. Trick is, if one of the two weapons has a melee stat at all, there is no chance that the result weapon will have 0 stars melee. If there's any melee whatsoever, the result weapon will have melee. So the only way to get a weapon without melee is to start with weapons that have no range and build them up slowly over time, like I've done with the Black Club here. And so the way the guide explained how they got good weapons, basically, is if they wanted like a 6-star ranged weapon with 1 or 2 good skills, which is what I wanted, basically. Actually, at first I was like, I wanted to have defense, health, and recovery effect, and dash continuous fire, but I didn't realize how unrealistic that was with the value system. Basically what you do, and what I did with this, was you get a bunch of really weak weapons that have just a half a ranged star and no skills whatsoever otherwise, and you just fuse tons of those together until it slowly builds up the range until you've got a weapon that's got really high range and basically no skills on it. And once you got a bunch of those, you take your pick of what weapon you want it to be, and then you can think about starting to mix in some skills. And so then they had a way they recommended to do it, which I found very difficult to do, which was then you get a weapon that's 100, it's a base weapon with no stars or skills. And if you fuse that with your 6-star one, it would the 100 one, the weaker one, would have no stars, but it would have that one skill you want, like dash continuous fire +4. And you would fuse that with the 6-star club, for instance. And then you would get something sort of in the middle that was 3 stars, but now has your dash continuous fire. And then you keep fusing that with those little ones that have no skills on them to get it back up to 6 stars. And then every time you want to add a skill, you basically do that, where you mix it with a really weak one, such that it tries to put the values in the middle, and so it kills a bunch of your ranged but keeps the skill. But of course there's luck in that too, and what I ended up having to do, I found out that the playing on 9 over and over again gets you some pretty solid weapons, some of which even only have ranged stars, but usually are loaded up with a bunch of random junk skills to increase the value, because on 9 they want to give you high value weapons, which is total crap if you're trying to do what I did here with the Black Club and stuff. So I lowered the difficulty down a bunch to I was trying to I tried every value from 0 to 3, basically just trying to work it out, and I have absolutely no shame in admitting that I used the speed up feature for that process. I eventually got into a loop where I just Pit would just survive. He would just tank all the entire air battle without me having to do anything, so I could watch YouTube videos or whatever while that was going on, and then on the land battle I just sprinted from chest to chest, picking up fortune bows with a half range on them and so forth. So I have a few weapons that I ended up with, like this one, where it's 6 stars and it's got health +4, stamina +1, and the overall defense -2, which adds a bit of, or it subtracts value, which helps because in theory it gives you more room. Anyway, so I have a bunch of these ones that are just range stars, but the one we ended up fusing, and it was one that had a single melee star on it just now, just because it was the best option I had at the end of day 3. I have no idea how I'm going to edit this video down, because that's the previous 6 hours from the 25th were disastrous, but this is all I've been doing for the past 3 days. And so part of me feels oh man, this really wasn't worth it, considering we only got 1.5 stars, but at least now that I know how difficult that was, part of me is yeah, man, 4.5 stars dash continuous fire is probably good enough. It's a shame, because I did have many of these powerful ones that had a health +4 or a defense +6. Defense +4, defense +5, defense +4, defense +4, defense +6, all kinds of really powerful defensive ones, and I just could not get them to work for the life of me on an artillery clause. So I don't really know where I'm going with this. Thesis statement is basically just yeah, man, it's hard. So really, we should just be proud that we got this, got it this high and move on. That said, I've only got 1 melee star, and my melee dash attack has taken a hit, so anytime I am forced to do melee, it's gonna suck. Well, at least my melee combo's got a plus to it. I played that first mission so many times and it was going so fast that I got the beat it in 4 minutes challenge, and I hit the 50-hour milestone as well. But yeah, what I wasn't appreciating earlier on in this whole journey, the Kid Icarus journey, was just how much, to give yourself the most fuse options, really the best play would just be to have an ungodly amount of weapons, which is what I ended up doing several times. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's because I'm so clingy to the idea of this dash continuous fire artillery clause. Probably if I had invested in some other build options, I could have made some really good weapons much more easily. But you know what? I put in the 3 days and we got a weapon out of it to show for it. So let's try this bad thing out and see how much more damage it does than the other one. It's gonna be pretty marginal, I imagine. Do I still have the old one? Right, this is what we'd been using previously, was the 3.5 star. Well, this is what I got at the end of day 1, was the 3.5 stars, which puts it around 170 damage for one volley of this, which is, you know, pretty substantial. I'm guessing this one will add like 2 or 3 damage to each strike, and if there are 5 strikes, that's adding about 15 damage, bringing it up to like 180 something, which, you know, when you're doing a lot of them, it'll add up. So, moment of truth, by how much does it add it? How much better is this? Sorry, didn't mean to shoot you with that. 189, so that's about what I was expecting, right? Pretty good. I mean, still, it's pretty good damage, because, like, it sounds like not much more than 173. That's only, what, 16 more damage on one of those, but, you know, when you're throwing them out this fast, that does rack up damage even faster, I would say. Basically, if it's 16 damage, then, like, every 10 or so of these is worth 11 of the other artillery claws. And considering how much in this game we have, like, just barely survived by our last breath, I think this will be a notable increase. But what it also tells me is that if I had a range stars of 6, if an increase of 1 star was about 16 damage increase on one volley here, then if I got 1.5 more stars to get it up to 6, it would bring it up by about 20 more, so one of these volleys would be doing about 200, which compared to the 189 we're doing here, I guess more like 210, closer to. And when I compare it like that, I'm like, yeah, you know what, actually, that's fine. Really, I would have liked to get another defensive one on here. I did have some chances to get a dash, to get a weapon that was 3.5 stars ranged. It was like this, except I had a defense +3 or something like that. And I think, in retrospect, that would have been probably the better choice, now that I'm seeing how marginal the increase is from 3.5 stars to 4.5 stars, but maybe I'll make that one too someday, and we'll just have a whole set of artillery claws to try out. And maybe one of these days I'll try a different weapon so that I can stop being so precious about getting dash continuous fire on artillery claws. But we did it! We did it! And no one can say we didn't did it. Let us get these equipped and we will try out their battle capability next time in Chapter 14, the Lightning Battle. Here you go, see, it was still exclamation marked there. So yeah, I ended up feeling a little defeated about that whole process, but let it not be said that we didn't get a better weapon. And we learned a lot. By the way, I've still got this artillery clause with defense +6 on it, which doesn't have any dash continuous fire or anything, but how much damage are we doing? Oh yeah, that's not nearly as much. But like in a pinch, if it was a mission where we were getting hit by so much stuff and we're always dying, it would probably do. Because the thing is, overall defense +6 would give us about double the standing power, right? So that, in theory, means we have double the time to tank some stuff. So, you know, that's another boon from this thing, is that we've got this really defensive artillery clause with 3 ranged on it. Not bad. Not bad us. But I will leave that video off here because I'm sure it's already way too long. Oh yeah, well, I guess I shouldn't say that's all we got from this, because we also got the Zodiac Chambers. I forgot because that was 3 days ago. Yes! It is now April 1st, but fortunately this is no prank. I did indeed spend a little bit more time, and I had, while a video was rendering, playing some more Kid Icarus. This time I played, I changed my tactics up again, all over the place. And I played a bunch on 9 to get some really powerful weapons, and it turned up I think I was lucky, it turned up a bunch of them that had only ranged stars on them. So I had tons and tons of options for making weapons that were very high powered, but with very minimal skills. And I came up with this result here, which is a dash continuous fire +4 on a 4.5 stars artillery clause with defense +5. Fuse! Which is not technically as high value as some of the other ones we have. Like this one, I've got 4.5 stars ranged with the dash continuous fire +4, and it's got a melee star, and then all this other little stuff. But I don't really care about melee combo +1 and shaking +1 as deeply and passionately as I care about a defense +5. I mean, this is just gonna be so much more survivable. So going on 9 a bunch is definitely the, I think a mix of tactics is good, because it was nice to have a bunch of weak skill weapons that had no skills on them, because getting strong weapons with no skills on them is very difficult. But if you're playing on easy mode, you get a whole bunch of them that are just like, it has half a range star and then like maybe defense +1, and that makes it very easy to fuse into a bunch of bigger ones that have lots of range stars but no skills, which makes it easier to fuse overall, like I was guessing way earlier in the playthrough. Let's give it a go on 9 with its defense +5 and see how much this tanks us.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
I'm guessing though this will give us about like 1.6 times the health or something like that, but considering how many times we've survived just barely by the skin of our teeth, I think this will be an colossal leg up. Oh yeah, look at that. I mean, that was about halving that damage. Normally that would do about that much. Getting hit by one of those, right? Oh, look at that. That's amazing. And now I gotta see how much damage Twin Bellows does to us. So with our Dash Continuous Fire Omnidirectional, this is the best offensive weapon we've had thus far. It's tied with the other one we just had, except it doesn't have the shaking, I guess. And it's one of the most defensive we've ever had. Sublime. I mean, I have found a defense overall plus 7 and maybe a plus 8 at some point before, but and had them paired with healths before, but they were on weapons that were like one range star, and it was like a cannon or something that I didn't like. I was kind of shooting myself in the foot a little bit because I was playing on the chapter 1 the entire time, and each chapter I learned has a predisposition to give you certain weapons more than others. So I was kind of limiting my weapons. Fortune Bow, Twin Bellows Cannon, and First Blade are the 3 that show up most commonly here. The chapter where Artillery Claws show up by themselves most often, we don't have unlocked yet. And it's not that other weapons can't show up, it's just that those 3 weapons are more likely to show up, so. But even then, I mean, if you get a whole bunch of high-powered First Blades, you can craft them into dang near anything eventually, right? So it wasn't too much of a problem, I wouldn't have said. My melee stars are nothing, though, so melee is going to suck for us, even more than it did before. Fortunately, our range should be so powerful that it shouldn't even matter.
Good luck out there, Pit.
Oh, look at us just melting through them with these. Just don't even think about it, just 1 or 2 shots and they're gone. Oh, amazing. I'm actually surprised at how much I'm noticing it, considering it's technically a really small leg up from what we had before, but man, it adds up. You know what? I'm gonna get run over by a tank just for the hell of it. Ha! I laugh at your tank running over. Do it again, why don't you, huh? Ha! Ha ha! Who even cares? Ha ha ha! Oh, that's awesome. Oh, what a relief that finally all this time spent finally did yield us just the precise kind of power of weapon I was just dreaming of. Oh, that's such catharsis, such release, finally. I'll have that. Oh man, that means that heals are just even more powerful. Also, I've been kindly told that there is in fact a recovery effect plus 4 that we do not yet have. Slash, I might have picked it up while grinding and not noticed. Maybe I should have a look. So that coupled with our defense plus 5, oh man. Of course, anything that takes melee will take us forever now. Oh boy. Let's hope those events are few and far between. Well, but if need be, we've got the other Artillery Claws still, so we can just always swap back to one that's got slightly better melee. And keep our Artillery Claws, since I'm most practiced with them, but then just get like a little bit of melee on top of that. Oh, I'm sorry, what, there's supposed to be a boss fight or something here? Sorry, just 2 seconds. No, I don't think we'll be doing any boss fights today. No thanks. Not interested. Goodbye. We win now.
Excellent job, Pit.
Thank you. Oh man, that feels good. But you see what I mean? Like online, sometimes you get some really powerful ones that just have range stars and then like a really good defensive skill. And you get a handful of them. So I was really underestimating how powerful that would be for the— oh! Narrowly avoided 20 drive everywhere. Sweet. Get turned into tempera. Not on my watch. Let's do some idle toss. I've done enough grinding off camera that the idle toss 3 white eggs is now no longer getting us 100. We're gonna have to be careful, quickening our boots. Oh, that's the things that absorb your shots. Oh, feels so good. And in a moment, I'll send you back to the first flash forward in time. But, oh wait, we got Jump Glide level 2. We got a whole bunch of new ones. Rocket Jump 4, Angelic Missile. Oh, I do have Health Recovery 4. How long have I had that? Is there any way we can make that work with our current build here? If I do something like this, and then, which one is this? I'm actually not using that one tons and tons these days. I did use it a bit in Arlon, but then if I do that, I can have, got room for something with a corner like this, because I love that health recovery. We did in fact have it unlocked. I mean, I did get a lot of skills by playing on 9 over and over. Honestly, the chaos of activating a random power sounds like it could be really fun. None of them are like bad for you per se, right? Oh, well, I guess there's one that like drains your health, isn't there? I mean, I don't know, why maybe we try with random for a bit. Could just give you a heal, you know? Less than there's any other one I'd want here. So the level 2 and level 3 of this are just that they give you more uses, is that the idea? 3 is usually enough. I could also get an instant crisis recovery from this, but I think if I'm in crisis mode, I'm not going to have the mental wherewithal to reach down and hit it, would be my guess. I have no idea how useful playing dead is in single player. Automatically counterattack when hit by enemy attacks. I'm obviously intrigued, but also not in the mood to do anything too experimental. Perhaps, sorry random effect. That sounds like a lot of fun, but with the way I've been playing so far, it probably makes more sense to— oh wait, does this really not fit here? Is there— hang on, surely— oh, I guess you can't mirror it. Oh, never mind. I can do that. 2 uses of that does sound nice. Actually, screw that. I can put this whole thing in here, can't I? Sure can. 3 uses of Tireless. That's alright with me. What I wonder about this random effect is, does it pick one random effect that you apply to all enemies, or is it every time you shoot someone, they get a random one on them? It's probably, it says adds a random effect to attacks, and not each attack does a random effect, so probably it's that it picks one when you use the power. But you can even see, no, in spite of how much we've done, we still have gaps in the middle here. Like we've got missing homing boost level 2, although they are generally the exception. We've got lots of powers, although I imagine there's more than a level 2 landmine. Missing level 2 and 3 explosive flame, level 2 mega laser, so on and so forth. There you have it, man. Oh, I'm so pleased with that. And I get the feeling I could get it even higher if I spent a bit more time at it and really like tactics thought it out, but for the time I put in to finally have that as a result, chuffed to bits. So I'll go back to the first flash forward now, but I should return it to my past self to close this video out. Thank you very much. We're playing Fire Emblem or something. Goodbye. As of course, this level 39, so these guys are all like level 43 or something like that. 42. Yeah, Lauren's gonna get easy takedown on this one, so they should. Nope, not as easy as I thought. Raleigh is strength and can. Boom, wonk. He's sort of falling behind in offense of late in our playthrough.